Hey folks, let's see. Hello Discord, hello channel, welcome back Open Pagan Church. Hope everyone is doing alright. Anybody out there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Alright, well, yeah, check it out. We have a sponsor, kinda, for Open Pagan Church and Live with the Shaman. For those of you that might play Conan, Conan PS4, gotta give a plug out to one of the servers that my wife is a admin on. They toss a little bit her way. If you play Conan Exiles on PS4, here's the information for the server that she admins. I think I'm in the way of the Discord address. I am. Well, anyway, I'll move it over here in a minute so you can get the Discord address. Check it out though. Loki's Playground. I'm not real sure what the hell all of this means, but says keep loot on death, double stam, whatever the hell that is. 10x boosted active admins, map rooms at every ob. I think they're trying to say obelisk. So thought I'd give them a plug and go over and check them out. Again, I will move completely out of the way so that you guys can see the Discord channel for registration. Right, if you didn't get it, pause it and roll it back. Alright.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so that's our first sponsor there. I thought it was kind of cool. I know that I know I watch them play it a lot, and I couldn't play it. I couldn't do it. But it's fun to watch. Anyway, Lee says my headset isn't working. Well, shame on it. That headset needs to work. Got to be able to hear what we're doing. Very important topic today in these tumultuous times. At the time of this video, April 26, 2020, a lot of the globe is starting to open back up, starting to get back to work and what have you. America is still trying to go through the throes of this thing, and I don't blame them. Everybody's worried about catching this crap. So I figured I would do a topic on living with quarantine. One of the things that I have come across is how many people really don't actually know the meaning of quarantine. So I did put a link in the description area, and it will be that link will be on all of our archive channels, lbry.tv, as well as YouTube and Flickr and all the rest of it. But let's actually read here what Merriam-Webster Dictionary says about quarantine. It's a term, like, say for example, it's a term for which a ship is in port and suspected of carrying a contagious disease is held in isolation from the shore, which we have definitely had that. A regulation placing a ship in quarantine. a place where a ship is determined during a quarantine, detained. And they're they seem to be putting the opening of this more to do with ships than anything else. But number 3 says a restraint upon the activities or communication of persons or the transport of goods designed to prevent the spread of disease or pest. A place in which those under quarantine are kept. A state of enforced isolation. So, people like myself and many of you that will be watching our broadcast, if you don't have the disease, then you're not in quarantine. You are in stay-at-home orders. You are requested, and in some states required, in some areas mandated, to stay at home or travel only if you absolutely have to, wearing personal protection equipment. So what I want to do is get out of the way what quarantine is. A lot of people misunderstand the meaning of quarantine. You're not quarantined until you are suspected of or have a disease, a communicative disease that can be spread to everyone else. Our household, we're not in quarantine, even though all of us have allergies out the wazoo. None of us, knock on wood and thank the gods and goddesses, none of us have had the disease yet that's going around.
Morning, Dave.
Don't want it. Morning, Dave. So, if you don't have the disease, you're not actually quarantined, but you are asked and in some areas mandated to stay home, stay safe. Those who have to get out and go to work, there are many people that work in areas where they never see another human being. Rock and roll. Do what you got to do. Get after it. I can't tell you what to do, and I can't shame you for not doing what I think you should do. You know, if you're part of our extended family and we care about you, I may waggle a finger at you, but that's just because I care. So the biggest ads that you see on television nowadays is stay at home together. We are doing this together, apart, so to speak. So, what are you guys that are in the chat area, and you guys that are in Discord, how are you handling this situation of the mandated stay at home where at all possible? How are y'all dealing with it?
Go, Clint. You first.
Well, with my job, I'm not really dealing with customers or around people with me splicing that kind of stuff. So I'm out there doing my stuff, but I'm also being cautious when I got to go into grocery stores or any kind of little store. I keep my distance from everybody. I really can't wear a face mask because of my claustrophobia, but if I have to, I will, but it's not easy.
Yeah, it makes it hard. I know that Cammie is real claustrophobic, and she has a major problem wearing gloves and masks. So it's hard, you know, for people to have something over your face. Anybody else?
Yeah. Huh. Me. Our household has to be really careful because my other half, Paul, has a heart condition and COPD, so that's a double whammy and his age. So when we go out, well, I've been getting everything delivered the stores, and then if I have to go out, like I said, I use my mask. I don't use the gloves anymore because it's cross contamination every time you use it. So I go in the store, I wash my hands with sanitizer. When I get out, I wash them with sanitizer before I touch anything. So that's the best way you can do it right now instead of using gloves because it's you used to see the parking lots with all the gloves laying on the ground. It's horrible.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing that really bothers me about people. Instead of carrying a bag with them or a baggie of some kind and removing the gloves correctly and disposing of them in a plastic bag, um, these people are just dropping them on the freaking ground. That's that's nasty to me. It's unsafe, it's unsanitary, and it's disrespectful to other people. You know, who wants to walk out of a store and see rubber gloves everywhere? And yeah, you know, if um, I know that if I have to gas up the cars or when I go to the grocery store, um, I glove up when I leave the house. And if I have to get out of the car and touch anything outside of the car, um, when I open the car door and get back in the car before I touch anything, I pull the gloves off, hand sanitize, and then drive my car. Um, Case in point, last week I had to drive to corporate in Dallas to pick something up. Well, of course, I gloved up and masked up when I got there, and when I come out, I opened the car door, took my mask off using my gloves, and put the mask, you know, in open air because they're saying that this thing cannot live on certain materials more than 72 hours. So it's doubtful I'm going to put that mask on again within 72 hours. So, you know, you got to be smart about these things. Um, Dave says if people were quarantined for the disease, stupidity, the streets would be about empty. And a lot of the streets in a lot of the places are empty. I know the news up here where we live in north central Texas, a lot of the streets are empty. They were especially empty when all this thing started. Now, they're starting to open back up. They're starting to get busy again. People are getting used to wearing masks and gloves and what have you and going out in public. You know, we're seeing more and more videos of people that are going out in public wearing personal protection equipment, PPE.
Well, that's like I won't say the restaurant. There's a restaurant down here that everybody loves. Well, they did some testing for it because one of the restaurant persons got sick, so they had to test everybody. Almost three-fourths of their workers tested positive for it. So who knows how they spread it with everybody else. So you just got to be careful, you know, where you go and what place you go get your food at.
Yeah, you know, here's the thing that everybody's been talking about is the those who have it that have no symptoms, or the symptoms they have are masquerading themselves as something else. These people I feel sorry for because they're actually spreading it and they have no idea what they're doing. They don't really know that they are spreading it. So it's kind of a catch-22 situation. But we know what it is, right? And at this point in this stage of the game, it doesn't make any difference the name of the virus anymore. What makes a difference is how society handles these types of things, how society handles um, mass pandemic spreading of a disease. Whether, um,
Well,
go ahead.
yeah, like you said, how the society's handling. My neighborhood, this is kind of cute. I love it because the neighbor here, we're not real close, but since it's been going on, you can see the kids are coming out and the parents will sit out in lawns with them, or they'll go walking up down the road with the kids. Um, I have some sidewalk chalk. I'm fixing to go down and give it to the kids because I'd never use it, so they can ride on the sidewalks. How often do you see people ride on sidewalks to kids? Not lately, any time. So, we're trying to keep the kids in the neighborhood busy instead of getting bored.
Right, right, yeah. Um, and I mean, of course, um, just to make them feel better, wipe it down with sanitizer, whatever you give them to them in. Wipe them down with sanitizer and have gloves on and a mask, and just say, hey, you know, let the kids have a ball. And this is some of the things that they're doing in the Dallas area, some of the suburbs of Dallas. Several of the news outfits up here have been showing where people have been doing sidewalk art. And man, some of the things these people are coming up with is absolutely phenomenal.
Ooh, who jumped in?
I
Um,
did.
Trish?
hello. That looks like a Tish. A Trish.
Yep, yep, that's a Trish.
It's Tasha.
It's a
Yep.
Tasha. See?
It's Tasha.
See?
We're not good at names. We never are.
It's a her.
It's a her.
It's definitely.
So yeah, I mean, on the flip side, okay, we we know the danger of living with quarantine. We know the danger of living with, stay-at-home restrictions.
Ooh, jump in there. Hey, Heather.
Hey, Heather, who Heather? Where?
Heather's in the webpage.
Oh, really? Did I miss something? I did. Holy shit! People have been posting. I didn't even know it.
Well, I'm trying to help you, old man.
I know. I'm getting old in my slow age. Lisa.
I'm not on the Facebook page, so I'm just through Discord, so I have no idea. I can't see any of that right now.
Oh no, yeah, you're fine. We generally read them out anyway.
Okay.
Lee says, since we're both retired and disabled, very seldom do we do they leave home to begin with. She says she gets her groceries in a drive-through. Oh, drive-through grocery stores are the bomb. Let me tell you, they're great. She says with meds at the pharmacy, anything else, they just keep their distance. Yeah. But here's the thing. And like I say, on the flip side, let's start moving in to the positive things that are going to come out of this. I think people are rearranging their thought processes on how to live and interact and react to others.
Can I hop in real
Yeah, well, yeah, come on.
quick? To a certain extent, my husband's an essential worker. Um, so our life, as much as we want it to change, as much as we want it to be quarantined, as much as with my health issues and I'm in extremely low immune system, we were forced to stay normal. So with our animals, we were forced to go and buy feed, I mean, and then the local stores started price gouging so much, we ended up having to drive an hour to get more. And then he has to go to work for 12-hour shifts or 8-hour shifts and come home. So it's kind of a two-way street, and it's scary in that aspect.
Yeah, everybody, the interesting part of this whole thing is the psychology behind it. There are internet sites popping up all over the place with counselors and psychologists and psychiatrists that are offering their time to help people with cabin fever. Cabin fever is a very real thing. Then you have the subconscious psychosis of, you know, quarantine anxieties. I watched a video last week on germaphobes and the way they are handling or not handling real well this quarantine situation. Some of them are not doing well with it at all. But let's also think about some of the ways that I think this might actually change society. In some ways, okay, it's going to change society to the worse for a bit till people get past themselves. A lot of companies are talking about outlawing handshakes. There are a number of families that have had issues because human beings are social creatures. We like to hug people. We like to show affection. And when we see someone that we haven't seen in a while, we want to give them a big old bear hug and say, hey, how you been? Shake their hand, what have you. Yeah, Lee says that their local police is showing a spike in domestic abuse. The same thing here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Domestic abuse, the last report, is spiked threefold. For abusive behavior, domestic abuse, what have you.
That, and people are dropping their animals off at shelters at record-breaking numbers because they are fearing that their animals are going to contract COVID and give it to them.
And this is another paranoid situation. So far, there have been large cats that their handler passed the disease to them.
Yep, that's a fact.
Yep. There have been some, like she said, there have been some cases where the disease has been passed to house cats. I haven't seen anything on dogs yet, or other farm animals, but who's to say? And
I hope not.
right? But see, I'm the type of person, I don't buy in much to, or I try not to buy in much to social paranoia.
I call it the Wall-E mentality.
The Wall-E?
You ever seen the movie Wall-E?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the Wall-E mentality. Everybody wants to be by themselves. They're all riding around in their little chairs and no social interaction, no pets, no contact. They just sit there and eat and watch TV.
Oh, I remember that.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. But this, the undenying fact that this thing has absolutely changed global social interaction. I mean, let's talk about some of the other things that are heavily affected by this thing. My job requires internet. My job requires internet network connectivity, as well as millions of people do at this point, billions of people, I'm sorry, around the globe. We talked to our internet service provider last week, and they are struggling to stay on top of the demand for bandwidth just in our area. We talked to another internet service provider also last week that said they were down for 3 days because their equipment just could not handle the demand.
Yep, it's the same here too. We're struggling to keep our son in any educational based programs because we can keep the bandwidth, the internet at a steady consistency.
Our daughter is doing school online right now. That's being provided by her school, and she's doing a wonderful job. She's staying on top of it, but like everybody else, we're struggling with bandwidth. I mean, when I'm back here working and Cammie is in the front part of the house working, we have to have first dibs on the bandwidth. So we have cut down any streaming of videos, games, or movies during work hours, because it just quite frankly slows it down to the point where we just almost can't work. So unfortunately in our household, from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. streaming movies is pretty much out. So the changes that are happening and living with this thing has absolutely changed the global society. But pagans, most of them that I've seen post, and I've been watching a lot of the pagan Facebook sites that I've been seeing, I've been amazed and pleased at the lack of social paranoia that's been going on most all of the sites that I've been looking at. Have y'all been noticing the same thing amongst the pagan community?
Yep.
Why is that, do you think?
To be honest, I think it's because we are very highly nature based. And as much as there is negative effects going on, look at how the earth is bouncing back. I mean, the ozone layer is starting to close, the whole new ozone layer. You've got animals that haven't been, normally active coming out. I mean, there were turkeys walking around a street in New York City. I think it's because we can feel the energy shift in the nature-wise, and that gives us a little bit of peace, maybe.
Well, yes. I mean, you take a look at the news and the videos globally, right? Lions and tigers asleep on busy roadways that used to be too busy for them to even get close to. Penguins walking through the streets of major cities in Alaska. I think it was Alaska that they filmed a family of penguins just waddling down the main street.
That's in Austin. They had the ducks. the
ducks,
the
yeah.
goose, were walking across the street. Cops didn't have to stop or nothing. I mean, it's like there was deer. Where was it? Oh, Houston. Downtown Houston, they found a set of mama deers, and the bucks were out in the, what is that? The big park area, Herman Park.
Herman Park, yeah.
Downtown Houston and Herman Park, we have deer out now.
Yeah. Well, what about the absolute amazing beauty? And Even when I was a kid, I was never one for city skyline. I like the forest skylines, the woodland skylines. Um, I've never been one for city skyline. It just never did anything for me. So a lot of people are like, "Wow, isn't that beautiful?" No,
Nope.
no. But some of the photos that are coming out of Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, New York, California, um, all of the big major metropolitan city areas, there was there was a photo of one of the northern states where you could see across the lake and actually see a lighthouse across the lake because there was no pollution.
Yeah, well, the Himalayas too are visible for the first time in how long?
Yeah,
And
Himalayas.
the Aurora Borealis can see in clear
Aurora,
as bell now.
Yep. So people,
Reality check about the pollution, people.
yeah, and I mean the naysayers that says it don't make no difference. Those who say pollution doesn't exist. Mm. I believe Mama Earth done showed you the difference. So yeah, like
And I
you
don't,
say, reality check. Go ahead.
I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, and I swear I don't, but unfortunately, how many of those people that are seeing that now are going to continue to live that? Because it's so easy to go back to the normal, you know, we are grander than everything state of mind for a lot of people. And unfortunately, you know, how long do you think it's going to take for us to destroy that again as a human race? Because I try my hardest not to. I completely believe in global warming and climate, you know, climate change and stuff like that.
Well, that's
I mean, I hope.
I do too, and sadly that's a kind of a rhetorical question because human beings are once once human beings are set free again to run amok. I would like to think that the better population would something would have flipped inside their wee little brain and said there's a problem and we need to be a part of the we need to be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. Yeah, this was one of the things we talked about in last week's topic over at Live with the Shaman is, you know, climate change and what have you. How can we be a part of the solution when the problem is trillions of times larger than myself or you or anybody? Do our part. And sadly, I know that once all of the curtains are lifted and this thing has become a bad dream to most people, they're going to get up and they're going to go back to work. And after about the first, I'll give them a week. After about the first week, I believe it's going to be business as usual. Economically speaking, right now, in this, you know, in this day and age in 2020, it almost has to be, economically speaking, for the global economical system to start picking back up. I'd like to see more electric vehicles. I'd like to see more wind turbines and solar panels on roofs of houses. If we could afford it here, we would be assisting the grid instead of the grid supporting us. But that cost a hell of a lot more money than I got.
Right.
But it's like I say, it's kind of a rhetorical question as to how long it'll take, because people, most people, are still in their what, cubicle mentality of, well, the government says it's okay to go out, then it's okay to go out. It's okay to continue business as usual. And okay, well, people are not going to think about personal protection
Tennessee,
equipment. Huh?
Tennessee is opening up May 1st.
Yeah. Texas is ramping up. All of the states are ramping up. And I'm kind of sitting back thinking to myself at the time of this broadcast, what, April 26, 2020, that if they open too quick, by the first part of May, there's going to be a resurgence.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yep, terrifies me.
But
They're already having, well, here in Beaumont, Don, they're already having a resurge because we come out yesterday, we had a testing almost 27 more positive than the day before. I mean, it's exploding again here.
well, and see, you know, common reality has to, common sense has to, well, I can't even use the word common sense because it's not common these days. And I don't want to come across as somebody that spreads paranoia. That is absolutely not what I want to do at all. We need to be smart. And with me, I'm a high risk because of my respiratory issues. My, you know, everybody in our house is a high risk respiratory issue situation. So I mean, even if they told me the first part of May, okay, you know, we're opening the office back up, we need to start coming back into the office for check-ins, I'm going to mask up. I'm going to have a bottle of hand sanitizer, a can of Lysol in my backpack, and I'm going to spray my desk down and spray my phone down, and you know, I'm going to protect myself. Now, if I'm the only one sitting in a meeting with a face mask on, so be it, until I feel safe going out in public. And that's just me. I don't expect everybody else to live the way I live. Not at all. But we made a good point a while ago that we haven't seen a whole lot of paranoia type post in pagan groups. Mostly, I think, because most pagans don't cater to the end days, so to speak. You know, the apocalypse, if you will. Most of us don't look for apocalyptic signs, if you know what I mean. Most.
Yeah, we
Go
do.
ahead.
We do.
We do.
We know what you mean.
Oh, I thought you were saying y'all do watch for apocalyptic signs. I was going, really?
No,
Well, who doesn't?
I don't look for apocalyptic signs.
I don't either.
I mean, okay, I know there's two guarantees in life. There are two absolutes in life. One of them's life, well, that's gone. And the other one is death. Well, it's coming. Hope like hell it's not today or tomorrow, or I hope to be able to continue on for many years to come. But I mean, death is a natural part of life. And most all pagan organizations I have seen with the pagan leadership of that organization, that's what, they teach their people is, yeah, we miss the person when they're gone. We're humans, we go through the healing process that humans go through. But we also realize that death is a part of life. And
And I think we teach each other to celebrate life, the life of the person who has lost, versus the sadness of them being gone.
right. So most pagan philosophies that I've seen and the pages that I've looked at, and I've checked several because I was curious, they're not doing the paranoid posting of the apocalypse is upon us because this isn't apocalyptic, really. Um, it's a disease. It's nasty. It's killing people, and it's now starting to manifest itself in other ways. Um, it's increasing heart disease in some. One of the uh, actors on Broadway lost a leg because of it. It's nasty. Boy, I'm not saying it's not. But it's also something that in this day and age we truly have to continue to live with. And I say live with because we don't want to let it we don't want to let it make us stop living. We don't want to let it make us be afraid to live, right? So if those of you that are watching and those of you that are going to be watching later in the pre-recorded broadcast, put your comments in the comment section, and one of us will read it as soon as we can. But those of you watching now, what are some of your ideas for moving forward with this thing to help others that may not understand what to do next? What is some of your advice to help them move forward with this thing?
Be cautious of what's going on around you, and if you can, wear a mask, do all the precautions that you need to do, and just give it safe distance for everybody. Now they're saying more than 6 feet if possible.
Yeah, give distance. Um, give distance to folk and be as cautious as you can without being paranoid. Paranoia is dangerous. Caution is good. We all need to give caution.
I know
Anybody
they,
else?
yeah, I know they say use gloves, but try the experiment at home. Get your gloves on, put some peanut butter on it somewhere, and try and not cross contaminate because it happens with the gloves when you're in the store picking this up, picking that up, and putting it in your buggy. So you're cross contaminating everything. So I don't use the gloves anymore. I wash my hands a lot, use hand sanitizer when you're in the store and when you get out of the store.
Yeah, and also on that note, be aware of the hand sanitizer that you're using, and be sure that it is CDC approved for.
Gotta be what, 70 proof or 80 proof? I can't remember which one.
I don't remember. I don't remember. You can check cdc.gov and see what the recommendations for hand sanitizer is. Uh, I know a lot of the distilleries that make whiskey are making hand sanitizer and donating it to the first responders. So that's really cool. Anybody else?
Yeah. Yes, sir. It has to be 70 proof.
Don't drink it. I'm sorry, I had to be a smartass.
Yep. We had to have the humor here.
You know, may as well.
You know, for me, my husband does most of the running. He lets me drive, but he doesn't let me go in stores. That will probably continue. For me, it's not the mask, it's not the stuff. I can't afford to go places. So the whole aspect of the staying home is just how I'm going to move forward. Just kind of get used to more staying home or just being kind of the chauffeur.
Right, right. Debbie comes up with a really good point. She says, since this thing enters through the nose, the mouth, and the eyes, twice a day, I rinse my sinuses and gargle with strong alcohol-based mouthwash. Drink hot drinks regularly. Yes, that's been proven to help for sure. And use eye drops to flush out the eyes. Absolutely. I mean, I've got a Norvage sinus flush that I use on a weekly basis. Now, if I go out, I use it. And you know, something else I recommend heavily. You see a lot of people that are wearing the mask below their nose.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Why wouldn't they do that?
What good is that? They're wearing their mask only over their mouth when science has proven this thing enters mostly through the sinus cavities of the nose. Cover the nose and the mouth. Theoretically, I should shave my beard so that the face mask gets a good seal. No.
I was going to ask you about that earlier.
No. Everybody has boundaries. I draw that boundary. However, I do have a face mask coming in that is designed for beards.
Yep, a friend of mine makes those down here. Got one from Brian.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're bigger, bushier on the they cover, I guess you can tuck. They tuck the beard, I guess you could call it.
Yep. Here's one of the things that they recommend, right? Ow. I'm getting tangled up in my damn wire. They recommend that you tuck it in your shirt, and you put the beard, you put the beard over your face. You put the, shit, I can't even talk. You put the mask over your face and cover your mouth, and your beard is tucked in your shirt. Well, there's a number of people, most people, don't wear long beards. They wear crop beards. And I mean, I know a lot of people that are using the hand sanitizer on their face in their beards. Okay.
Yep, Brian does that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I take a shower and use a conditioner and you know, after you've hand sanitized, rock and roll, why not? Let's see, if it can't multiply and reach critical masses, your body just flushes it away. Yeah, you know, and And Debbie says, no, please don't do that. Please don't shave off the beard. I'm not. I hope. But anyway, right. Well, hey guys, listen. I mean, we've talked about this thing, and I hope.
We beat the dead horse.
Well, yeah. I really hope. I mean, I can't stress enough. Think. Wear your mask correctly up over the nose. I get it. Claustrophobia and trouble breathing and all the rest of it. My poor old honker has been broken so many times it's not even funny. But even still, I wear a mask, as uncomfortable as it is. And I've had people say, but I wear glasses. Well, duh. I put the mask on and I put my glasses down over the mask. Hey, life is good. Can't see with them, can't see without them, so what difference does it make? But I mean, yeah, be smart when you're out and about. And I absolutely, please follow me on this, I absolutely want to give a shout out to not only the first responders, the police, the fire people, the nurses and doctors on the front line fighting this thing. But
I'd like to say one other thing. The grocery people. The grocery people out there. Yeah.
That's where I was just fixing to go. When I go up to Walmart to pick up our grocery order for us and the moms, I tell these guys all the time, thank you very much for being here. I don't. Yeah, huh?
The factory workers.
Absolutely. That's.
Forgotten about.
Yeah, that's another place I was going to go. Your factory workers, your people that do what Clint does, which is out keeping these cables connected and connecting cables so that people can have internet and people can have communication. It's not just one set of people that's keeping the global economy going. There are the unsung heroes of those who do the grocery shopping for people that can't do grocery shopping for themselves. A couple of weeks ago, we had a friend of ours up here that actually went out and found us some eggs and cheese and some other staples that we were not able to find. And she's like, look, we're going out. We'll find it for you. We understand you can't leave the house. So when you are out and about and these grocery store workers, food delivery people, factory workers, the people that are keeping the lights on for us and, keeping our internet up and going. Because think about this, if the internet goes down and goes down hard, the global collapse from there alone would be immense. So say thank you to those people who are out there beating the pavement so that we don't have to. And yes, live with the shaman at 11 a.m. Central Time. And we hope to see you back here on Open Pagan Church next week with another topic. We'll see you then. Stay safe. Don't forget your PPE and have a good day.